Imagine losing the person you love the most, and the only person who survived the accident is the friend who caused it. Most people would avoid him, but Camille, she gets closer and much closer. What starts as sympathy becomes a dangerous emotional addiction, and everything spirals from there. This is the story of a grief turning into obsession. And trust me, the ending is nothing like what you expect. The night that changes everything. Camille is a respected, confident woman in her 50s. She is a teacher, loved by her colleague, admired by her students, and emotionally angered by one person, her son, Matthew. He is young, warm, joyful, and a quiet center of her universe. But one raining night, Camille receives a phone call that tears her reality apart. Matthew has died in a violent car crash. The driver, the one who survived, is his best friend, Frank. When Camille hears his name, she doesn't scream, she doesn't faint, she simply stops, as if her soul has stepped out of her body. Everything ahead of her becomes a blur. In the days that follows, Camille's world becomes silent. People talk to her, but she hears nothing. Her partner tries to comfort her, but his voice feels miles away. She sits in her son's empty room, staring at the bed he never sleeps in again. And amid that unbearable emptiness, one thought keeps repeating in her mind: Frank survived. She tries to avoid thinking about him, but she can't. He becomes the one puzzle piece she can't understand, the last living witness of her son's final moments. Unable to resist the pull, Camille visits Frank. He is pale, shaking, drowning in guilt. He can barely look at her. But what surprises Camille is this: talking to him hurts, yet also brings a twisted comfort. He is the only person breathing who shared Matthew's last night. So she returns. One visit becomes two, and then three. She tells herself she is checking on him. She tells her partner she is being kind. But deep down, she knows the truth. She needs him. Camille begins organizing the parts of her life around the Franks. She starts noticing where he hangs out, who he spends time with, what troubles with. She brings him meal, clean up his apartment, and interferes in decision he could make alone. Little by little, Camille forms a silent brief. If she can save Frank, she can save the last piece of her son. But the more she insists herself into his life, the more she blurs the boundary between compassion and control. Frank, still crushed by guilt, doesn't know how to push her away. He spirals into self destruction, drinking, fighting, isolating himself. And every time he fails, Camille shows up like a shadow that refuses to leave. She confronts people who she believes are the bad influence. She questions girls he talks to. She rearranges his apartment, half she is his guardian. Frank becomes overwhelmed. His guilt fixes with her intensity, and he feels trapped. But Camille interrupts his discomfort, has a call for help, and that pushes her even deeper into obsession. Camille's partners warn her. Her friends call her out. Her family start whispering behind her back. But Camille doesn't listen. In her mind, she is the only one who understands Frank, and she believes she owes it to Matthew. She ignores her job. Her relationships crumble. Her real life dies little more each day, just like her son. As Camille's grip tightens, her behavior becomes unpredictable. She shows up uninvited in his private moments. She interferes with Frank's friendship. She comforts people aggressively and she connects that pull him away from her. She isn't trying to be the mother anymore. She is trying to rewrite the reality, forcing Frank into the role of her son she lost. Frank changes from a grieving young man into a lost, angry, cornered soul. Camille transforms from a mother into an obsessed shadow, chasing a ghost she refused to release. At her lowest point, Camille finally comforts the truth, not through the words, but for everything around her. Her homes feel empty. Her partner has emotionally left her. Frank avoids her. Her life no longer resembles the one she had, and she realizes that everything she tried to save, she destroyed. Replacing her son through Frank was never healing, it was a delusion, a desperate escape from unbearable pain she wouldn't face. Camille is left with the truth she feared the most. No one can replace Matthew, not Frank, not memories, not obsession. And for the first time, she sits alone in the emptiness she avoided and accepts it. The title finally makes sense after him, after her son, after her grief turned dangerous.